What's up everyone, Karue here, and if you follow me on social media, you know I just won a tennis tournament. And I made so much money, see I bought a Ferrari. No, I'm kidding, I need some more subscribers for that, so make sure you're subscribed. But we're here at Indian Wells. Marcos have already won his first round. I obviously haven't played it in a long time. So in this video, I'm gonna go over all the challenges that comes with competing again. So obviously competing, you have a few challenges you have to deal with. Nerves before playing the match, pressure, maybe to close out a match or close out a tournament, physical challenges, tactical challenges, playing multiple people, having to adjust to different game styles. So hopefully as I explain how I dealt with those challenges, you can incorporate some of that in your game next time you go compete in matches. So briefly, if you guys don't know, UTR runs this really cool professional tour. It's called PTT. It's a series of 25K events. They have it in South America now, in Australia, in North America, a lot in Newport Beach, which is where I played, but also in Florida. And they're really cool tournaments because they are group stage tournaments. So basically, you have 4 groups of 5. You're gonna be guaranteed 4 matches through the group stage, and then the winner of the group stage advances to the semifinals for the first place playoff. But the second place of the group also advances to a bracket so they can compete for like 5th. So you're always competing for more money. So basically you're guaranteed like 5 matches, which is really cool. The only thing that's lacking right now, it's ATP points and WTA points, but I think they're working on that. And I think if they're able to put ATP points into those tournaments, it's gonna be really awesome. So good job UTR for putting up this tournament. It provides players an opportunity to earn some money. It's only $40 to play, and you're guaranteed to make at least $400 in the tournament. So they're doing a great job for tennis. So I appreciate UTR doing that for us. And before we continue, if this video is helpful, please give it a thumbs up. Also, if you're not subscribed yet, please subscribe. This really helps us. You guys have been awesome with all the thumbs up. The channel is up and running again. So I truly appreciate that. Also use the links down below. That helps the channel as well. All of that really helps us with the algorithm and growing my tennis HQ. So truly appreciate that. Let's go back to the video. So about the tournament, as much as I wanted to win my matches, make it far, my goal going into the week was to see if I could practice what I preach, right? I coach you guys, I coach Marcos, I'm always on court. And obviously tennis from the outside, it's a lot easier than when you're in it, when you're dealing with the pressure and you're faced with those challenges. But I went into the tournament with 3 goals. Number 1 was to embrace the pressure and not really hide from it. Number 2 was to stay present and not play the moment or the result, which can make us play tighter tennis, but continue to swing out even though I knew I was feeling some pressure. And number 3 was to really trust my inputs regardless of the situation, regardless if I'm feeling pressure, not only my strokes, but also my tactical approach. If I'm doing something that is working, to continue to do it even though I might be feeling a little pressure, maybe to close out a match or early in a match. So I'll go over all of these more in depth as I kind of recap some of the matches, some of the week, and explain how I dealt with all of that. So for the group stage, I had 4 matches. The first 3 matches, I took care of business on a pretty straightforward manner. But even if the matches were kind of easy and straightforward, there was a challenge here, which was nerves. I hadn't played a match in a long time, and I think over a year, a match that truly counts. So coming in, I was feeling it. I think a lot of people think that we don't feel pressure, we don't feel nerves at a higher level. We feel the same amount of pressure that you guys feel. Like, I'm not sure what my real level is, playing a match. Like, will I lose to a 12 UTR nowadays? I don't know. And it's easy to allow those thoughts to take over. But basically how I dealt with that was to just try to play simple tennis early on. Not go for anything crazy. I know myself as a player, my consistency, like the serves that I like to hit, the way I like to return. So I just went pretty basic meat and potatoes early on to get a feel for, how I was feeling the ball. But beyond just the tennis, it's just reminding yourself that that feeling, that nervousness is good. You're not gonna hide from it. There's no hiding from it. So you have to embrace it and continue again to trust your inputs. That's the theme, right? How can I hack my brain into actually enjoying this pressure, this nervousness, and not try to I don't want to feel this way. That's the biggest issue, I think, for most players. And then after a few games of feeling the ball kind of well and playing the game again, trying to figure out my opponent and getting into the zone of I'm competing, I'm playing a game here. I'm not necessarily just hitting and rallying to feel good. I started playing some good ball. And before we continue, I want to thank today's video sponsor, Harry's. I'm about to drive out to the desert for Indian Wells, my favorite tournament of the year, and gotta look good for that one. Can't be looking all scruffy like this. The stash needs to be on point, so it's time for a shave. Harry's fits my routine perfectly. Razor prices are out of control these days, and Harry's German-engineered razors provide premium quality at affordable prices. The Harry's starter set has you covered, including a 5-blade razor cartridge, a weighted texture handle, shave cream with aloe, and travel blade cover. Aha! Here it is, a perfect shave and a strong stash that's ready for competition. If you want to get your Harry's starter set, it is only $5 if you go to harrys.com/tennishq. That is a deal. My coffee costs more than that. Try it out for yourselves. Harry's offers 100% money back guaranteed. Link is in the description, harrys.com/tennishq. Now let's go back to the video. But even with some easy matches, the second challenge presented itself, which was physical. We had a day where I had to play 2 matches, which I hadn't played in a long time, 2 matches. And even though they were fairly easy wins, it's still a long day at the courts and playing and just feeling kind of, after the second match, just feeling really tired. Throughout the entire week, I would go back home and I'll make sure I'd go to the gym and go into the jacuzzi to just get nice and loose, go in the steam room, and then do a nice 30-minute stretch. That really helped my body stay, I wouldn't say in 100% condition, but way better than I expected. So if you're able to do that, I would highly recommend for recovery. And then for warm-ups, I actually didn't really hit much before matches. I just made sure my body was warm. So I do some yoga movements and functional movements. And then obviously a basic warm-up routine using armbands and all that stuff. So I was trying to keep my body fresh, as fresh as I could during the week. But again, a challenge that I hadn't thought about in a long time. Just how can I recover to play back-to-back matches? So by the time the 4th match came in, I had already won the group, so it was technically a match that didn't matter, but you never want to lose those. You can never play to lose. And I played a former college player who was playing really good ball. I actually went down early in that match, I think 4-2 a break, went up a break and then down a break. And that's when another challenge came in, a little pressure. Oh, I'm behind. I'm not playing as well. I don't feel like I'm winning the rallies from the back, and I'm getting broken a lot. And your mind can just kind of go on and on and on. There's so much chatter. And really wasn't playing that great. I thought I played very well for the first 3 matches, and then wasn't playing that great that day. The conditions were a little different. But the way I dealt with that was, trying to fight that internal chatter. I think what we're thinking, where your mind can go versus what the reality of what's happening can be so far off that I have to almost call myself out in third person. If you have this kind of bad thought, oh, what if I lose here? And it's only 4-2, and then I have to remind myself, it's okay, it's only 4-2, you got plenty of time. There's some pressure, it's okay. So you have to it's almost like you're coaching yourself from a third person perspective. I think if you were to be coaching someone and they made a mistake, and maybe it was an easy mistake and they were pissed, you would be empathetic, you'd be supportive of that person. But when it's just towards yourself, you're like, you're an idiot, like, how'd you miss that? And it's like you can just go on and on and on like that. And there's a lack of empathy I see a lot, not just with myself with that internal chatter, but like when I see, you know, amateurs playing, pros playing, and that's not good. That's not gonna help you. So personally, I try to fight that chatter with just being outwardly and speaking. It's like, oh, that was a stupid thought. Like, throw that thought away. You know what I mean? It's like, that's just not gonna help. Or if you're feeling like kind of that pressure of like I'm behind, or you know that match was a little closer. I think it was like a 7-5, 6-4, and it got to a point there, but things were just like chippy. I didn't know if it was gonna go my way or not, and you start feeling a bit of pressure, and I just kept telling myself every time, it's like, this is good, this is good, this is good, this is pressure, this is good. You know, you have to kind of hack your brain a little bit, and I think you guys need to try that sometimes. It's like, again, instead of trying to hide from the pressure, embracing it, and then going at it. So I won that fourth match, advanced to the semifinals, and the semifinals was pretty similar to, not my best tennis, but just better than the guy on the other side. And that's something that you kind of also have to remind yourself. You're not going to feel good every day, and you still need to win. And you only need to be a bit better than the guy on the other side. And then we went to the finals, and the finals was an absolute war. So let's go over that. So in the finals, I played a 16-year-old called Traverse Vida, great player. We've had his brother here on the channel, Zach, and they're just really good tennis players, both of them. They're very similar players. And in this match, I basically had to deal with all the challenges I dealt with throughout the week. The first one was nerves. Obviously, during the finals, I had seen him play, and I just kind of felt like it was a bad matchup. He's a really solid player from the back. And I felt like things would be very even. I kind of, even before the match started, was a little bit in my head thinking like, this is kind of a tough matchup, what do I do? So I came in just a little extra tight. So I ended up playing a bad first set, lost it. So after the first set, I knew I needed to change something. So basically my goal was to finish the points a bit earlier, or put him in more pressure earlier in the point, which meant actually starting to serve and volley more. I'm actually a good serve and volleyer overall, but I don't do it enough, but I just went for it. I went for it a few times and it worked, and I started getting confident on the serve and volley, and basically did it for the next 2 sets. And that really worked. I think I rattled him a little bit. He started making some more errors on returns, errors on passing shots, and I just kept going at it. Even though I wasn't breaking, I was holding serve easy, and basically just trying to maybe get one opportunity to break. He doesn't have the best serve in the world, but he hits a lot of first serves in, so it wasn't like I had many chances to stay aggressive off the second serve. So I finally had a chance at the end there at the second set, got the break, and sent it to a third. And obviously by then there's the physical challenges, right? Like I'm playing a third set for the first time in the tournament. It's deep in the tournament. My body is a little bit tired. I'm serving volume, which requires a good amount of explosiveness. So yeah, then we go to a third set, and I have to continue to do this tactic. Again, sometimes you win that set trying something, and then you get to a third, and it's easy to revert back to what you're comfortable with, but I had to keep reminding myself, I'm winning more points, statistically winning more points doing this. There's no reason to go back to staying on the baseline, try to beat him from the baseline. And that's something that you need to remind yourself. If you're doing something that you're winning maybe 6 out of 10 points or 7 out of 10 points, you gotta keep doing it, even if you're feeling pressure. I mean, I don't serve and volley like that all the time. I never do it, which I should. But I knew that I had more chances of winning points by doing that, even if I was feeling pressure, even if it felt kind of weird, because now I'm having to close out a match serving and volleying. So as the set went along, I actually felt better on the court with my tactics, and I eventually got a break at 4-2, and I totally crumbled under pressure, felt it, lost that game easy, but I was still feeling good about what was happening, so I broke again, 5-3, And then that was just kind of an unlucky game. I thought I played a decent game, but he came up with some good passing shots. I didn't put maybe as many first serves as I needed. Again, felt a little bit of pressure. Now I'm serving for it. But I kept trying to trust my inputs there, even though maybe I didn't execute as well. I could be okay had I lost the match knowing that I did the right thing. So at 4-5, I have a match point. He played really well on his serve. Then it's 5-all, 6-5 me. He's serving love 40. I got to love 40. And first point, he clips the net. I come in. He clips the net again on a passing shot. So that's just unlucky. And then he played well, 2 good first serves, brought it back to deuce, and ended up holding. So we're in a tiebreaker now. And at that point, to be honest, I'm like, I lost this match. I've had too many chances, and I lost it, basically. So I don't get a good start on the tiebreaker. I end up going down 5-2, but I'm still, serving and volleying, trying to trust that input because I know I'm going to win more points doing that. I was trying to be offensive off his second serve. So from 2-5 down, I actually played an unreal 3 points to get it back to 5-all. And then came an interesting moment. It's 5-all, second serve for him. I knew he was going to come to my forehand, and I know I have to be offensive there. And I'm feeling the pressure that I have to be offensive, but I want to start this point. I don't want to give a free error. But I went for it, and I made the mistake. I played kind of a tight forehand. But again, going back to trusting the input, even if I'm feeling pressure, you need to do that. Because I knew that was the right play. I knew that gave me the most chance of winning that point. I just made the mistake, and I can live with that. And then at 5-6, I hit an ace down the tee. The ref called it out. The ref was making all the calls. He calls it out. You can see here in the video that the ball is really in, and I'm just kind of pissed off. I go and hit a second serve, comes off really, really good. I end up having a backhand approach. He misses the passing shot. Again, not that great of a pass, but I had been coming in so much and winning so many of those points. I think he was feeling the pressure of that as well. And again, that goes back to, really trusting that tactic, that winning tactic, and I did it, and I end up winning that point. And then a few points later, I finally have another match point. Good second serve, ball was short, played to the open court, came in, and he missed the passing shot. So you see, not an easy shot, low forehand, having to run away and go inside in, be exposed, but goes back to, the theme of this video is that trust in the inputs, right? And I get it that you're not maybe playing at my level, but you probably have a couple shots that you trust, a couple balls that maybe you're doing well during the match, and you have to continue to do it even if you're feeling, nerves and pressure and all that. But I'm super pumped that I won the tournament and played all those matches. Had been a while. Sometimes you're out here, on the tour, and you just want to compete because you're seeing such good tennis, and so it was fun to do that. And I hope this recap opened your eyes and your mind to, how to approach the game, because you got to remember it's a game, and the pressure, the tactics, all that stuff, it's there, and you kind of have to really embrace that. I know I said that a lot in the video, but it is the truth, and sometimes, when you try to run away from it, it just doesn't work. So thanks for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps us. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Let's get to 100,000 subscribers so maybe I can get one of these. I think I'm gonna need way more than that. And don't forget to go to harris.com/tennishq to pick up your $5 starting set. Link is in the description below, harris.com/tennishq. And now let's go win some matches at Indian Wells. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys on the next one.